Hello and welcome to Farming Simulator 2015 Mod Map Showcase with me, Kevin Sawyer, and you join me on yet another mod map, and this one is called Cattle and Crops and Farms. Sorry, that's Crops and Farms version 2, and it's made by the modder of the name of Dragon 500. And like I said, this is version 2 of the map. So if you're watching this video at a later date, the modder may have come in and changed some aspects of the map and how its functionality and etc, anything else with the map. So if you're watching this at a later date, you might find it's changed from when I've done the mod map showcase for you guys. Of course, the links for this map will be in the descriptions down below, so feel free to download it for yourselves if you wish. But all I say to you guys, it's a big file, so please bear that in mind. One other thing I will say, there's a lot going on this farm, so for lower end PCs it may struggle to keep up. Mine just, it just barely keeps it going. At the higher range of things, I could have toggled the graphics down for you guys, but I thought I'd leave it as was. Hope you guys can bear with it. But before I go into the nitty gritty, I'll go into the aspect of what you start off with. So in the bank, as you can see, you have 5,000, or just say round it up to £6,000. Let's look in the bank loan. You've got a bank loan, a standard as usual when you're starting out a new game of you've loaned out £100,000. So bear that in mind, guys, especially as I'm going to go into details for the equipment you start off with. Now, like I said, the actual file is quite large. It comes with quite a few mods with it. You don't have to necessarily use all those mods. However, if you don't, then you might find that things are missing in the game, etc, etc, etc. I'd say the best suggestion would be to play about of what you've got. Let's go into and see what's best for you. But let me just go into the what you own. First of all, let's go for the field types. Now, this doesn't show me all of them. There are a lot more that's actually covered on here, but go over the basic ones: wheat, barley, corn, canola, corn, potatoes, sugar beets, grass, clover, soybean, sunflower, oat, rye. I do know you can grow onions on here, you can grow cotton on here, you can grow I think you can grow carrots on here, tomatoes, quite a few different little things. As aspects to what field you own, it looks like you own field 17, 8, 6, 32, 4, 5, 14, and those two in the middle, maybe this one here, again can't see because of the what number it is because the text is the same colour. Field 9, maybe this one over here, again it's quite hard to see what colour that is. Let's just try and go to growth, maybe that'll clear things up. No, maybe not. That looks like field 7 now. Field 3, that looks like to me. Field 2, yeah, 2, 3. Oh no, it can't be 3 because there's 3 there, so this is 2 field 3s. But anyway, I digress. There's quite a few fields you start off with. Let's just start an equipment. Right, as you can see, quite a lot of equipment start off with there. So if I just quickly, hello, my computer's doing something strange. Sorry about that. If it's doing something a bit bizarre in the background. Let's try and start off from the beginning. So from the beginning is a looks like a dirts, telehandler, universal bucket, quite a few of them forklifts, planter, weight, looks like the buffalo trailer. I think it's only the one dirt, so I don't know why it's reselected again. Scorpion King, bale transporter, animal transporter, universal trailers, universal tanker trailer, round baler, stayer multi, along with its front loader attachments, bale spike, Euro Boss like front loader. Skipped out again, sorry. Let's just go back to the beginning and just work our way back down. Okay, it's called. Yep, that. Stayer, front loader. Yeah, forage wagon, pallet fork, Clark truck again, another forklift truck, another telehandler, another bucket for the telehandler, another universal tipper, another bale transporter, T8 tractor, another weight. Now this is the a reskinned New Holland header for, not that one, that's just a standard New Holland combine, but that comes with it. That for this one, the Black Tiger, this is just New Holland combine that's been reskinned. Neva. Now you see this and you start to panic straight away, and don't worry, don't panic. You might be thinking, well, does that mean I have to get the gold DLC to play this mod map? Nope, you don't. The modders obviously played about the original Giants version of it and made it so it's a harvester which you all can use, but the only downside to it is it only harvests clover, so don't expect to use it in everyday use because it's only good for clover. Low loader, the header to go with the combine, Renault Magnum truck, another header, modded tipper, and again it's another sort of, like, it says wood, but I think unless he's played about with the files, it's a sort of like auto stacker trailer. These guys here are like John Deere skins, but they're just like cotton combines. You don't necessarily have to use these. You can just, again, if you've got the multi-fruit option, you will find that your conventional combine will harvest it. A seeder, a mower, a modded tipper trailer, a tedder, again for the grass aspect, another header for looks like in-game mixed in with some modded versions of the crone of the beet harvesters and potato harvesters, tipper trailer, plough, fertilizer sprayers, Big X modded tipper trailer, modded combines which you'll need with certain fruits like onions, etc, etc, Clark forklift truck, seeder, another bucket, another telehandler, fuel transporter, yet another universal tanker, another, it's a Lamborghini, another universal, another weight, another telehandler, fork spikes, another forklift. As you can see, quite a few toys to play with, and like so I say, quite a few. Let's take a look around the main yard, main farm itself. I'll start off along here. Let's bring up the map. It's something a bit of is it kind of a strange sort of setup again, but this is the main farm itself. In here, I believe, again, don't quote me on it, this is grass, straw, silage, chaff maybe, and maybe mixed ration. One of them's going to be at least mixed ration, and the other one's going to be chaff. Over here is a silo, so you can convert chaff into silage. Over here is where your cows are. Again, I'm going to try and do this as quick as I can, but I will try and cover as much as I can for you guys, so we'll make it a slightly longer video. But in here is where your main cows are, your feeding troughs, the milk's point just there to pick up milk from. Got a couple of cows to start off with. I don't know if these are usable, if you can drop bales into here. This one is collidable, so I should say probably maybe you can use this to put your bales of food in here perhaps. But again, don't quote me on it, I haven't played the map long enough to really utilise the functionality of it. Let's just show you what else is on this barn. Jump up here. Again, this is a manure point, that's a slurry point. Again, you may have noticed that you need the animated door trigger for everything to work, so if you haven't got that mod, please, you will need it. I think it comes as part of the mod pack anyway, but just in case, please bear that in mind. Up here, again, there's more places you can store stuff. I'm guessing it's more silage, etc, etc. Just a bit closer to the cows, so you can, if you need to, just store your pallets up there, or store your bales up there if needs be. The old generic, as we know and love it, generic Maru mixing station. Over here, in these little barns, that's like a wash station along with a water point. So to fill up your cows and stuff. In these little barns and everything, you've got just like where you can potentially store stuff. In here is more storage and a fertilizer pickup point. Over here, again, it's just part of them, but you've got a few little drop-off points here. This could be potentially sugar beet, corn, and I believe that's lavender, but again, don't quote me on that. Over here is where the onions point is. Again, for pallets, you can put them into pallets and stuff for other aspects of the map, into boxes. Some cotton there. Over here is the Maru, sort of like placeable Maru stuff, which you like here, you may have seen in some of my videos with they can put eggs in there, and then they eventually hatch into actual chickens, which then go back into your chicken, chicken count, I should say. This is lambery. Again, you grow lambs up to full sheep, and then they go into your count again, so you've got more sheep. And this is the beef one. Same thing. You start off they're small, they need feeding, etc. Grow into full-size cows, then end up as part of your actual herds. What else do we have? Over here, I believe, is the chickens. Yep. So over here is where you collect your eggs from, etc., etc., where your chickens will live. And these are just standard chickens, not the fattened chickens. If I can jump over the fence. If I can jump over the fence, if not, I'll walk through the gate. Let's walk through the gate, it's probably an easy option. And now jump over the fence. Over here, I believe, is the sheep. Yep, so the sheep points over here. Again, don't know if these bales actually work, if you can use them. They are collidable, so I can assume maybe they work as a feeding point. Trough over here, again, Could be the grass looks more like water. Yeah, it's water. Again, just static scenery. I don't know how this affects the game. These looks like a way you could potentially come in, perhaps. Yeah, and maybe just store hay in here, perhaps. Again, for the sheep. Again, it's a pure up guess. We've covered that over there. We've covered that over there. If I walk over to this little centre over here, you'll find this quite interesting. Barns itself is obviously just barns. In here is again some more vehicles tucked away in here. Again, now you have to drive up the middle here, this little mound. But up here, I think it's just like where the main point is for everything stored. So you've got quite a lot stored up here. Again, this is where the carrots are. That looks like oats. That could be alfalfa, maybe, or sunflower seeds. I'm guessing. That looks like clover to me. Potentially looks like could be sugar beets. It's got the sugar beet texture to it, but again, don't quote me on it. Potatoes, that's where potatoes are stored. And that looks like the wheat. Canola. That could be barley, actually. That looks more like barley to me. Yeah, it's more like barley. Canola. And there's the wheat there. What's on this next lot? So again, that's standard. That could be oats. Yeah, it could be oat textures. What's this over here? Sunflower. That's definitely sunflower. Onions. So that's where you store your onions. There's like a big square or a round circle. In the middle here, I've yet to figure out what this is and if it has anything or is just static scenery. It's like a sort of like weird like Bowser. But anyway, let's go back down to the main farm. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to quickly pop along here. Oops, walking straight to a wall. Over here. Now, again, I haven't yet figured out what everything does. But I'll go through it with you what I think it is. Until I've actually played this map off screen, I can't actually figure out what everything does. But this is my guess. Here, if it let me in, it won't let me in. Possibly, so I've got something wrong, or I need a tractor to get in there, perhaps. It looks like the pig sell point. Again, the trigger's not letting me in there, so it could be a glitch, it could be because I'm not in my tractor. There's more water point there. Over here could be. Let me through this door. There we go. Right, I've got to look for doors like that on the other side. So let's quickly pop in here. This is where the pigs are. Probably won't let you in there unless you're in a tractor. Let's check out those other barns quickly again before we pop over there. Quickly see what's in here. Could just be storage. Yep, that's storage. Static scenery. More storage space potentially. Again, another little storage place. see if we can walk in here. His bit here. Don't know if we've been in here. It's more pigs by the looks of things. Yeah, it's pigs again. So this could be all just beef or pigs. You may recognise this from previous places, but this is like a place we got a store of slurry. This is just like a slurry pit. Again, I don't know whether the these are integrated into that or whether you have to empty them out manually. Again, it might just be a separate storage place which you can use. But these are definitely all pig nests by looks of things. Yeah, they're definitely all pig nests. Right, let's find, again, while I'm flicking through, you can see for yourself what sort of vehicles, what sort of toys you get with this map. And might probably cost you quite an arm and a leg to keep them all. Right, so that covers pretty much most of the farm. As you see, you got the centre of the farm, you got the sheep, chickens, cows. Just the basic Seafield 32 there. That's actually, if I drive over there, it's probably a better way of showing it to you. You can use that as a placeable orchard place. So if you've got placeable orchards, you can use it. I've got an idea of making it look like an orchard. The sort of idea I use to make my orchard on Vauxhall. I'm going the wrong way. Just cut through here so we don't crash the tractor. So there's a lot to cover on this little map. Well, I'd say little map, it's quite a large map. And there's a lot going on it, so that's why I think it probably I'd say it's a lower end PC killer. Let's try and get to Seafield 32 if I can, show you guys. There we go. Field 32, as you can see, it looks like it's been made to look like an orchard. So you can place trees, etc., yada yada yada, whatever you like along there. I head this way without too many dramas. I can get down there again without too many dramas. How do we get down there? Along here is... oh, it's like a little slip road just up around there. Oh, brilliant, two birds, one stone. Pull in here. This is like the whole complex again. That's like, could potentially be another water point. But over here is the fattened chickens. Again, you can put your chickens in there to be fattened, etc., etc. Over here, it's obviously a tunnel, but over here in this bit, which is probably the road I've missed that's coming into here, but is your geese. And hopefully opposite these geese should be the emus or ostriches. I think they're ostriches actually, but I could be wrong. But here they are. Again, I'm not 100% sure how this works. I can only assume you bring your ostriches in, you ostrich young. If I look at the purchasables, we'll soon find out. Animals. See, they don't actually appear in here, so I don't know whereabouts there would be. Maybe they're under mods. Again, I'm not 100% sure whether these are working or not. I can, there's no listing for them, and I've tried off screen to sort of back a trailer up into them, but it might be something I'm doing wrong. Again, put in the comments down below. No, you need to do that, or you need a separate mod, etc., etc. Just help other people's out, help myself out. But anyway, I digress. So that's where these ostriches are. Again, it might be a separate file, which is I've not found in the bunch of files that came with the mod itself. But anyway, let's find out. Oh, not crash into the stop sign. Alright, we are here, so if I head down as the crow flies, or as much as the crow crashes or flies, to over here, and then I'll work my way around clockwise, hopefully. Again, like I say, it's going to take a while to get around this map, and I may not show you everything that's on here, unfortunately. Over here looks like the vehicle shop. Yep. So you can buy your stock vehicles from here, etc., etc., yada yada yada. The shop may not be open yet. No. It's got this standard. Some maps are like that, where the shops won't open until certain times. Volkshome's the same. It's got a certain set of shops you can't get into until a certain time has happened. I'll pop over to here. Okay, over here could be potentially a butcher, maybe, or a sales point. I'm guessing. So it's got all the animals here. But I don't see any buy points for it. So there could be a sales point for them. It's a weird sort of set of triggers stairs there. Again, this map may not be finished yet. He may have plans for future animals, etc., etc. Let's have a quick look at this, see what this is all about, see what's in this computer. Again, it's I have no idea, but it looks like this is abattoir, so obviously you drop your animals in here and they go to slaughter by the looks of it, and then it produces pallets out of that, which is nice. Again, I don't know how that works, so Let's find where our tractor has gone. I parked it in here, didn't I? Oopsie. Right, so where are we? We're here. Try and go as the crow flies again, just to save on time. Means lots of crashing, but I've gone around in a big circle. Oops, into a tree. Let's try not to drive with the map on. I'm trying to drive where I can see. There we go. This looks a bit like a sales point again. Potentially where you could sell pallets of stuff off to. Let's switch to next. Let's head down to here. Big thank you to TBF for throwing this map my way, actually. I may not have mentioned that at the beginning, but he sort of caught it and saw it and said you should give this a try. So here I am giving it a try. It looks like a milk sales point. Yep. Again, like I say, it's I think the doors are shut for a reason, because it's too early during the day. I'm again guessing it might not be finished yet. Right. Make sure I'm pointing the right way at least. These look like orchards to me. I could be wrong. And they're not coming up, but they're kind of based off of the Ross and Fowler orchard trees. Let's cut across here. We are heading roughly in the right direction, which is good to see. Right. Apart from the amazing fact I've just crashed into a tree. There's some lettuce greenhouses in here. They could potentially be also tomato ones. I know there was a tomato greenhouse sort of like aspect kicking around in here. Yeah, it looks like tomato strawberries. Oh, nice. Quite a few things in that one. Right, let's go that way. Some deer kicking around in here, well, that's a bit. I don't know if I mentioned it, but you can also get ponies in this map as well. I think that was in the middle of the farm there. We might have missed them. Over here is the cooperative. You can get over there without too many dramas. Again, you can sort of like, it's a sales point, place you can sell goods and etc, etc, etc. Let's try to get up to this next point. This is our fuel station there. Thankfully a non-collidable tree. Over here is a place where you've got like all the washed potatoes aspect and everything else. So you've got that all implemented in the map as well. Looks like it auto fills into this one as well. So you need water, and then eventually it tips itself out. You will need to obviously then either tip it into this, which then will make it into the crate format of it for you guys. Some more of them over there. Over here, if I can jump the fence, no. Is the egg place where you can bring your fattened chickens to, and they produce eggs for you. Can't jump that wall. Come on, round you go. It won't let me out. Why won't it let me out? Maybe I'll walk that way around. There we go. Let's go back to the tractor. Wherever I may have left it. Over here. Right, let's see what's over here. Like I say, I think that covers all of it actually. Yeah, it does. So we move on to over here. Go across the shiny water. Again, more purchasable fields. As for multiplayer aspects of this game, it is multiplayer friendly, and obviously it's big enough for course play to handle, so shouldn't be any problems for those aspects of it. Might get confused with the fruit types though, that's the only thing I should just say. This is, again, this is a sales point for eggs, etc, etc. Over here looks a bit like where you can produce your flour, etc, etc, for the bakery perhaps. There is a bakery on this map. I think it's just down here actually. We covered this. No, here we go. This isn't the bakery, but again, at the moment it's closed, but I think they open again at 9. See, it's closed, won't let you in. But I think this is like their version of the BGA or energy plant. Again, it's got places where you can put things, or sell things, drop things off to make up. Again, this looks like where you potentially could drop your wood chips in here. Again, it might be a sales point for that. Again, pure guess game. Let me out. Right, let me out. I'm stuck in here, peeps. Let's try that again. No, it won't let me out. There we go. Eventually climbed out of there. Alright, next one. Again, I can only apologise again. It's, like I say, it's a big map, a lot to take in. It's gone over my sort of half-hour mark. Again, I can only apologise about that. As you can see, it's a big map, a lot to cover. Nice looking lake on the right there. Again, I don't. Looks like some sort of waterfalls in the distance there, and a construction site there. Nice little river. Nice scenery. That's quite a good touch. Over here, I believe, is like the garden centre, so you can buy and sell saplings, manure, etc, etc, etc. Don't know if this road's going to take me to where I want it to go. Gives us a nice vantage point anyway. Straight into a tree. Typical Kev. That's just a generic campsite, nothing interesting happening in there. Fuel station up on the left here, and on the right, this is a big sort of like wood plant. You know, I see it's quite big. There's quite a lot going on in here. Sort of like the sawn pallets. It's got sales points for them. Some of it's just generic scenery, then some of it is actually working. So feel free to experiment how this actually works. Again, this one looks like a proper one to me. Yeah, because it's got the actual point there where you dump off logs and stuff like that. So that looks like a working one. These are the Maru's sawmills. Over here could be a pallet production place. Yeah, it looks like it produces pallets out there. Get out of here without too many dramas. Yeah, that's quite a nice touch. That fire burning there. Let's try. That's the sales point, which we've already covered. I think we covered this. Oh no, maybe not. Over here. Again, that's the emu. It's like another little point. I'll leave this tractor up here because it's easy to fall down in there. But this is where you can get like little lambs. You can buy your sheep from here. fattening sheep, I guess. Over here is cows. I think over here is the horses, actually. Whereabouts are they? Here they are, ponies. Yeah, here's the pony place. It's where you buy them from. Or it's where you sell them to. Again, I don't know whether it is something they're going to be sort of like bringing in at a later date. Again, this is just like scenery, but there's the sales place. There is a point where hello little pony. You can actually buy them from as well. See if I can find it. There's the emus. Again, you see them, but I don't know again how well they work and what you need to do to get them to work. Again, your guess is as good as mine. This could be the cat, proper. There we go. It's a cat. It's the sheep. It's a dog. What's over here? Scenery. It's a static scenery, nothing special about that. Oh, looks like we can potentially buy pigs from. Yep, that looks like the geese as well. Chickens. So, like I say, there's quite a lot going on in this map. Let's jump back on the T8. We can find it. There we go. Right, and then we'll go down to next point. Try to go as the crow flies again. Ghent BJ, just a standard BJ, textures to it with the silos, nothing really new there. There might be this one little point here, the store point. Oops. Again, that's the tractor shed, we've covered that. I think that more or less concludes the mod map showcase. Again, can only apologise, it's a bit on the long side. It's a big map. Hope you guys all appreciated it. Let's make sure I've got everything covered for you guys. I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah, I've covered that. That's where we got lost in the forest. Round on ourselves. Got crashed into a tree. Let's see if I can head towards where the ponies are and horses are, and I'll end it at that. Have a go as the crow flies. I don't know if I showed you guys this. If I have already, I apologise. If I haven't, then brilliant. Yeah, I think we covered this because I remember seeing that before. But here's the where the horses are anyway. The foals. I can jump in, get out, open the gate. So again, without knowing how this map works, it's a bit weird one at that. I assume this is where you pick them up once they're fully grown, but I could be wrong. Again, it's in there, looks like some sort of breeding facility. I don't know again whether you need to fill that up or what the actual case of it is. Initially, when I first loaded this game, there was 2 actual horses in there. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed the mod map showcase. If you did, please don't forget to like, and if you're new to my channel and want to see future mod showcases and anything else that I'm working on, please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. TTFN.